Here we go. Where are we? There we are.
Where are we?
Yeah, there we are. There we are. How are you? Oh, what's going on? What is going on, guys? How are we?
There we go. We had a black screen. Now we're there. So g'day, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the HFD Footy podcast, the best podcast in Northern Land. We got the Johnny Carltons back, and also we have the man himself, His Majesty. Roll out the red carpet, cause it is.
I thought you were going to say Cody Rhodes there for a second, but King of the North.
King of the North.
King of the North.
Guys, if you're brand new, make sure you like, share, subscribe. We got a massive show tonight. Big weekend footy. We did do a few watch-alongs along the way. But yeah, good to be here. I was looking forward to this one. No Bruno tonight. Obviously, he couldn't make it tonight. And no Johnny G. He was supposed to come up with a video to tell us about the Crows because how dismal they are. But you know what, guys? I forgot. You know, this is what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to just go, you Crows, you crack me up. You crack me up. Anyway, there's Johnny Crom. He's going to hate me for that one, but
he will.
But anyway, guys, what a weekend of footy. Now, we don't have a Johnny Carlton rant this time, even though the the Essendon supporters do hate you at the moment. But
that's fine.
But you know, it is what it is. We'll do have the bold call, so we'll look forward to that one. Before we start the games, guys, can you believe this? 150,000 people are founding members at Tasmania. Like, what is going on? We can't even get 55, 60,000 at Port Adelaide. They got 150 already.
A lot of people have got to spare $10, don't they?
I just can't believe it. Like, it does my head in. And I know that the King of the North is a founding member. Now, King of the North, now it is $10, right?
Yeah. Are
you going to renew your membership when it's about, the $350 to $400 mark, or what's the go?
No chance. No. They get me for $10. That'll do. So I got the sticker. That'll do me. So the Mapatassi on the Guernsey is a bit off-putting, but if they get the Tasmanian Devil head on there, then that'll be okay.
Well, yeah, it's 150,000. What do you think of that, Johnny Carlton? I mean, that's more than Carlton.
Oh, mate, $10 a ticket, $10 a membership. Why not? Mate, wait till they get up to $350, $400 mark, and then you'll see how many supporters there are. So
That's right, exactly. I've got to get myself a Carlton membership. What are you talking about? Forget about
he's a
Tassie.
He's a Tasmanian member, but he's not even a Carlton member.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my act together. So
I'm 15 years in on my membership, so I'm on an honorary board, and a member honorary board at Port Adelaide. So quite proud of that. Quite proud.
But funny thing is, I'm an AFL member, so am I classified as a Tasmanian member too? Because they're in the AFL. I don't know.
Yep, they're probably owned as well. You own all the other clubs as well.
I do.
AFL clubs.
I'm a member of all 18.
Is there a reason why you're an AFL member, not a Carlton member, or is it because you like to go most games, or?
Yeah, no, in love with the AFL. So I just thought I go to all the other games. So it's just better to get an AFL membership, get to go to any 40 games, and plus you get a guaranteed AFL Grand Final ticket. So just in case my boys ever get into a granny, I don't have to miss it. So
that's an awesome package. That's great.
Yeah. Guaranteed grand final tickets.
Well, take it easy, man. You said Carlton and grand final. You can't have the same sentence. That's what you said.
We cannot. But
well done to Tassie. Well done, and we'd like to see. I'd like to see it when it's like full price, but it is that you can't say they haven't got it. They do have members. They are members. So
I've been a Sydney Roosters member for over 10 years. So that's where, because I'm from Sydney.
King of the North. I think you got your phone next to your mic again. It's static.
I do. Yes, get that away. I'm trying to respond to the chat. So
I know, but it's static, man. Anyway, round 2. Well, actually, before we do, hello to everyone in the chat. What happened to the Tigers? Bailey reckons in the chat. We'll go through that very soon. KO the N, who's HFD Media. There you go. And Johnny Crom goes, hate on Crom all you want, 119. Dude, I'll wear 119 with pride now, man, all right? Zakal's in there. How are you, Zakal and JMR? Will you do Brisbane Lions versus Collingwood Magpies this Thursday? Yes, we will. We'll be doing a watch-along on Thursday, and I'm not sure if Johnny Carlton and the King will be there, but if they want to come on, we'll be doing it. So, all right. So, welcome everyone in. So, this was round 2 of the season. Kind of feels like round 3 because we had the opening round, but started off on last Thursday night. It was the Pies. Well, the Saints versus the Pies. Pies got the chocolates. 14-10-94 to 12-7-79. Pretty much bold call of the week was Johnny did say that they were going to win by 5 goals. So very good bold call there. That Higgins goal at the end was something. I don't know if was he out of bounds? I'm not sure about that.
No, his foot was in.
His foot was in.
Controversial.
You got to be controversial.
Yeah, there was a lot of that this week. So
there was.
A shining light was I can't say his name. Is that Nashaya Wanganeen Malira? And that was 32 disposals, 613 meters gained, 11 marks. Ross Lyon did say he's a special young player. He played pretty well, didn't he? There's no more dedicated player on the list. So, look, I watched this game. He played really well. And who would have thought, man? Collingwood, the Premiers, a 0-3, staring down the bottom to a 0-4. They take on Brisbane this weekend. Guys, Johnny Carlton.
It's a magnificent thing, really.
It is. Johnny Carlton, we'll hear from you first. What's your thoughts on that, man? Coming as a Carlton supporter, you did predict this one.
Yeah, look, obviously bold call during the week. I don't know, I had a feeling about this. Collingwood are not on their game at the moment. So, went with the bold call. I was a bit short, but that's all right. Obviously, it's funny because I was watching the pre-game and Sarah Jones and Tess Phillips. Is it Tess Phillips? I don't know, the Port Adelaide AFLW commentator, the new one.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
Erin Phillips, that's it. she was like, "Oh, Collingwood's pre-game is so they're hungry for the ball, they're desired. I reckon tonight's the night they get their 2024 as a win." And I'm like, look, obviously I did something silly. I did tip St Kilda all week until the last 2 minutes, and then I changed my tip to Collingwood. So I did, yeah. But no, as I said, St Kilda, they were a bit shaky in the first quarter, but then they got into the game in the second quarter and just was St Kilda from then onwards. And Collingwood's fans 0-3. It's they made history. First team to be 0-3 after 2 rounds. So it's pretty amazing, to be honest. So how can you play 3 games in 2 rounds? But anyways, that's first time in history. But as I said, now Collingwood 0-3. Hopefully they become 0-4 this week and not stand Collingwood. So happy days. Go the Saints and let's go Brizzy this week. So.
Well, it's an actual stat. It's since 1999. The Premier hasn't done that before. Like since so that was what North. I think who won in '98? North Melbourne. No, the Crows. The Crows. Adelaide. So since the Crows did that in '99, there hasn't been that. So I mean, I remember 2022 Port Adelaide. We lost 5 in a row in 2022 2 years ago. So it really sets you back when you don't win those early wins. So I mean, it'll be if you're a Collingwood supporter and you don't make at least finals, that's devastating, man. That's after a massive, you guys touted the best team last year, and I don't know, man. I think like their ball movement is not there. Nick Dacos is playing well. Don't get me wrong, like he is, like you can tell, but as you said last week, just that tall timber in the forward line.
Look, they just look slow this year, the way they move the ball. Obviously, no forward target up there. You could classify Myercheck as their forward, but he's not that tall forward that you need in a team. He's that medium forward who can pop up. And no disrespect to Myercheck, he's a very good player, but he's not that big, tall forward that they need. Their midfield as well, Pendlebury, side bottom. I think it's got to him now. I think they should have just retired after the premiership. I'm sorry. I just felt like it was a good time just to do it last year. I think the game's getting to them now. They're getting in there in the last couple of years. So I think the game's past them now. But as I said, they just look slow. Obviously, you got the Dacos brothers who are stars. You got some very good players in there. But as I said, it's just not the Collingwood as it was last year. And as I said, if the only people that will be upset if Collingwood didn't make final would be Collingwood fans. I'm pretty sure that all the other 17 club supporters will be happy if Collingwood don't make the 8. But apart from that, they don't look like the Collingwood that they were last year. So 0-3. The coach is he's not annoyed. He's not stressed. He thinks that they're just going to regroup and go again. So we'll see how they go on Thursday night. But I don't see them beating Brisbane over at the Gabba. It's hard to beat. The last team to beat Brisbane at the Gabba was Carlton.
Here we go. Well, look, before I give it over to the King, you got to have more input from your recruit, Lockie Schutz. He only scored 1 goal, and then Myercheck only 0, or 1 behind. So, those guys should be kicking at least a goal or 2 if you're going to be winning. So especially Myercheck, and then you talk about St Kilda, they look good. They look, as we said about Millera, he was really good, man. Probably his best game of his career, and look. They moved the ball really well. They got good defense. One of their players did go down. He got knocked out. What was his name? Mason Wood. Yeah. So that's a bit of a loss because he's a good player for them structurally. So, but other than that, St Kilda look not too bad. King of the North, give us a rundown, man. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, you've mentioned all the good stats. So Millera, Higgins with 4, but King kicked 3 goals as well. So that was really good. But I got to give a rap to Ross Lyon. Like he's coaching that side so well, and they're playing such it was just such an entertaining game. Like the last two games that Kilda have played, they played really well and won really well. So they started last year well as well. So I think they won 6 in a row at the beginning of 2023. So yeah, good on Rossline, the coach, and the players for starting the way they have, and they're just flying. So yeah, well done.
Well,
Collingwood,
sorry, go.
Elliott with 3 and McInnes with 3. Dacos only 29 disposals, but you're normally getting 30, 37, 38. But all credit to St Kilda for a good win.
Yeah, like last week they just lost to Geelong, at their venue that they just opened.
Yeah.
So,
and that was a cracking game, footy.
It was. I mean, could have gone either way, that one. And they look better than they did last year. I think there's definitely improvements there. So good game. Sucked into Collingwood. Sucked in. That's all I can say.
Yes.
All right, next game. This is the one I want to talk about. This is the one I really want to talk about. Here we go. The Crows. Crows went down to the Cats. 11-11-77 to 14-12 96. Tom Stewart, what a game. He intercepted like 10 intercept marks. Chris Scott reckons, I don't know, this is, blowing it up his ass a bit. It might be up there with the best 150 games ever played. I don't know about that. I mean, he's won a premiership, I guess, but, I mean, Chris Scott, take it easy. Take it easy, Chris Scott. But, Johnny Crum reckons be gentle. Oh, look. I've been hearing it from Dam. I've been hearing it from you. Like, we're gonna be this killer side this year. We're gonna be top 4. Everyone's putting in top 4. What I saw on Saturday night was not a top 4 performance. Look, they got a lot of the ball. Like, if you look at the stats, they got, like, the King of the North will show us later. They got a lot of the inside 50s, but where'd they go, mate? They went nowhere. So I thought Tex would be your saviour, but just bombing it into the forward line just did none of you guys any favour. And the midfield battle, Saligo and Pedlar, just don't think they're up to, like, I'm not saying they're not up to it, but they need like a Rankin in there full time. They need a Rochelle. They should be in there more because they're magic players, man. Do you know what I mean? So, and I don't care. You might say, oh yeah, but then you take them out of the forward line. It doesn't matter, man. It's your delivery in the forward line, and if you trust your forwards, they should get the job done. If they can hit Tex Walker, you know that 70% of the time, 80% of the time, he's going to kick a goal. So you got to get those guys in. Yeah, as I said, you had to heap the ball, but we used to do the same. Port Adelaide used to do the same, just bomb it in long and hope for the best. You're not going to win games of footy like that, especially these days. So, credit to Geelong. They just stuck to their guns, and their forwards just performed, and their midfield performed when the time was right. You know what I mean? They took all the they took all the pressure from the Crows, and then released, and then went. So, and did it perfectly. Tom Hawkins, I mean, he had a blinder. Even Jeremy Cameron was really good as well. So, I don't know, man. You guys, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but you guys have got it. Like, I was talking to KP today, and you guys have got a really tough run ahead. Like, there's some tough games coming up, and you can be staring down the bottle to like I'm not going to say 0, but 0, 1 to 6 or some 1 to 7. I don't know, but yeah, because like you've got some hard games coming up, and it could be. Maybe you shouldn't have signed that 2-year contract extension, Mr. Nix. I don't know. Johnny Carlton.
Be gentle.
I'm trying to be gentle. I'm trying to be gentle, man. I'm trying. You guys miss. You guys. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, you got to get Phil Thorpe back. You got to get who was the other player that's out for him?" I can't remember the other player that's out for them, but maybe he'll help in the forward line. But he's still young as well, man. So he's not. I don't know. look, things can turn around quickly. We saw last year how things can turn around, so you never know. But there's some tough games coming up. Johnny Carlton, give us your rundown on this game because everyone was loving you last week, man. The boys, Johnny Carlton's my friend. You guys suck. You guys are giving the Crows shit, this and that. And, they were like, we love Johnny because he loves the Crows. I'm like, maybe after this they might think differently. So, Johnny Carlton, I'll give it to you, my friend.
Yeah. Look, at the start of the season, I looked at the first couple of rounds, and this was a team that I was pretty sure that was going to go 2-0. I was sure that they were going to beat Gold Coast in Geelong. Obviously, if it was in Geelong, I would have gone Geelong, but it was in Adelaide, so that's where they play their magic, right? As I said, I did tip them, and they let me down, unfortunately. I've tipped them twice now, 2 weeks in a row, and they've let me down both times, which is it's a bit frustrating and annoying. But as I said, it's just, look, they're a team that's not getting, they're struggling at the moment. They haven't found their best football yet. They haven't found their best 22 yet. Obviously, Tex Walker coming back. I don't think he's 100% fit, but he needed to come back just to see. Because that forward line last week against Gold Coast just wasn't happening, so they needed Tex back in there. Maybe he would have missed another week, but yeah, as I said, he just wasn't there. And I know Riley Firthrop going down at the start of the season didn't help as well. So, obviously, look, new forward line, Burgess, obviously new player down there. As I said, they have stars, right? You can classify them as stars. You got Rochelle, Rankin, Dawson. You got those type of players, and they're playing their role. Matt Crouch is playing their role too. It's just you're getting what those six will do, but it's just that middle order in the Adelaide Crows players that you don't know what to expect from them, and that's the problem at the moment. So, look, I'm not hating on the Crows. I think I did have him in my top 8 this year. It's just, and they've got a very hard run in the next couple of weeks, and they really needed to at least get one win by round 3, and they haven't. So that's a bit more pressure on Adelaide. And obviously, their coach signed 2 years during the week was really. I think that was supposed to be a boost as well. First game in Adelaide, you know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to get their season up and running, but unfortunately they just couldn't get past Geelong. And look, as I said, I don't think Geelong are going to be a good team this year. I think they're going to be a mid-card team, and that was a team that you had to beat in Adelaide. But obviously they just didn't get the job done, and Geelong were too good, and they did Tommy Stewart, which he had a good game, but I wouldn't say it's best 150 games I've ever seen, but going a bit over, but as I said, look, I do have a little bit less faith in Adelaide now. But look, as I said, if they're going up against someone that I think they can beat, I will tip them. But yeah, it was just a very terrible performance on Friday night, and yeah.
Johnny Crum goes, what can you do? I would love them. I love, what's that say? I love
them no matter what.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good way to be, man. It's a good way to be, and that's the same with any, like, you love your team, no matter if they're bad or not. You always have, everyone has high expectations at the start of the season. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, you know. Look, as it's still early, so things can change, and but yeah, it's if I was a Crows supporter, I'd be disappointed, very disappointed at the way it's panning out at the moment. King of the North, give us your thoughts.
Yeah,
man.
we watched this one. It was a good game. The Cats and Hawkins down in the forward line was really good. He got 4 goals. Mears with 3 goals. Stewart, as you said, with 28 disposals. They just managed to find that little bit extra when they needed to. When the Crows came back, they managed to get 2 or 3 goals back again. And they just held it at the end. Crouch was outstanding for the Crows, 37 disposals. Burgess, Walker, Fogarty, Rankin with 2. Fogarty could have kicked 3, but he did that little kick into the post. It wasn't that great, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
that. That
haven't.
was terrible. How about Brody Smith's kick?
Sorry, John. Sorry,
Like
Johnny Crom.
what? Yes, there was some blunders in that game, man.
There
Yeah,
was, yeah. And like looking at the stat, we were looking at the stats during the game, and the Crows had a lot of possession as well. So they had the possession to be able to do something with the ball, and then they just turn it over. So yeah, it was the Cats just capitalised on their mistakes, and like Johnny says, you've got to win at home. Like I was saying in the first round, they've got to win away to get into the top 8. But yeah, if you're losing at home as well, that's concerning. But anyway, they've got good names in the side. They've got really classy players, and they just have to get it together. That's all.
The funniest comment just came through. So Johnny Crom, when you're feeling down, just think of me. Now GT23 is a West Coast supporter, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we will.
Oh, jeez. Well, as I said, man,
if you all the time, GT. So
I just think if you put if you have your good players on the ball more often, like your Rankin and don't rotate them so much into the forward line. I'm not sure how much. I don't know how much tank they have in the midfield, but if you could get those guys with the ball in hand, you guys are going to go a lot further. So. That's what if I was the coach, I'd be looking at that, because I don't think like Pedlar and what was the other guy's name? Not
Saligo.
They're good, but they're not as classy as your Rankin and what's his name? Fuck, I always forget these guys' names. Rankin and Rochelle.
Fogarty's good as well.
Even if
Fogarty had a really good game.
Well, he scored 2 goals, so yeah, it was all right. But like not Rochelle, Rankin, and even if you put Laird in there, he's an All Australian, and he's played in the midfield before. So if you can cover him down back, if you get your good ball players in there, they're not going to be bombing along, will they? They'll be looking for targets where I don't know, man. It's hard. It's a hard one to understand why, because they had. Like, if you go through the stats, they've got so much ball, like 37 touches Crouch, like 29 to Laird, in the back half. So, anyway, we'll see what happens this week with the Crows. But sucked in is all I can say from a Port supporter. From the bottom of my heart, sucked in. Jeez. All right. And they were upset with Bruno last week because he said they were fraudulent. It's like, dude, I've said a lot worse than Bruno. So,
yeah.
Anyway, next game. Let's go to the Saturday night first game. It was North Melbourne versus Rio. 11-10-76 to 15-12-102. Luke Jackson had 24 disposals, 7 clearances, 2 goals, probably 3 votes to Luke Jackson. I watched this game on KO last night. I didn't watch the whole game. They're short, the minis. They're called minis, and just shows you all the games. So yeah, I watched that, and it was. Look, North Melbourne were for a good half were really good. They were up
3 quarters. 3 quarters they were good.
Well, about just below 3 quarters, because Fremantle scored 7 goals in
true.
in that third quarter. So, but they were really good, man. They moved the ball really well. They were scoring goals. What was that guy's name? Hold on, I've got the thing here. Sheasel played really well. There was another player that I really liked who was in the forward line. Curtis. I like Curtis. Yeah, Curtis was really good. Zohar, I'm not a big fan of Zohar, but he played well. Larky was a bit quiet, only 1 goal because he normally can score a bag. But they were really good, man. And then all of a sudden, Freo started to play, and they just went bang, 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 bang. Luke Jackson was fantastic. Just wheeled his team back into the contest. They got in front, and then there was no looking back for Freo. You gotta admire the character of Freo to go do that. Like, they're away from home. They're playing at a hostile venue against North Melbourne, even though there's not heaps of people there. But to do that, to come down from was it 5 goals? At least 5 goals, 33 points or something.
Yeah.
It's a good testament to their character, and it's good signs for Freo. I did not see Freo doing really much this year, so there's a bit of fight there, and they're 2-0. Who would have thought? So good on Freo for getting the job done, but yeah, massive improvements from North Melbourne as well. So Johnny Carlton, you saw this one. I remember you said you saw this one. So what did you think of this one?
Yeah, look, good start to the Saturday just to watch the first game. But yeah, look, it was a bit surprising in the first half. As I said, North Melbourne went out to a 36-point lead. I was not expecting that. They looked on. They were moving that ball from half back brilliantly. Like you got Sheasel, Fisher, Wardlow. Those boys off half back. They're making a difference for North Melbourne this year. Obviously, the thing with North Melbourne, they're a young team. They're not there yet. They're not playing that full 4-quarter game yet. They're there, but they just can't do it for that long. They have some very good patches, but then they're just you can see the age, you can see the inconsistency, you can see obviously they're not experienced enough. Like, you're going up against these teams that have experienced players. They'll get there. Obviously, time will tell, but they'll get there. But as I said, they played really good for the first half. But then obviously half-time, Freo came back out, switched it, turned it on. Sarong got onto the ball. Brayshaw started getting more of the ball. Jackson started doing his thing. The Freo forward line started making their moves, and just unfortunately North Melbourne just couldn't keep up. And as I said, I know this one thing, North Melbourne tried to do the same thing as they were doing in the first half, but they just kept getting caught in the second half, and it just wasn't working. If you're going to win game, you can't just be doing the same thing every quarter. You got to change it up a bit, because that's how it works. But unfortunately, they didn't change anything after halftime, North Melbourne, and Freo took notice of that, and yeah, they got back into the game, Freo, and they've got away with the 4 points. Jackson was huge. He's been very good when Darcy's not there, so that's good news for Freo fans. But as I said, they're 2-0, so yeah, did not expect this at the start of the season. To be honest, I had them in the bottom of my ladder predictions. So yeah, to see them 2-0, they're proving everyone wrong. So pretty sure a lot of people had their coach gone by the middle of the year. So don't think that's happening. But yeah, as I said, Freo looking very good, and they're back home this week. So yeah, they're cruising. So, and they had a lot of injuries as well. You can't say that they had their best 22. They had 3 injuries last week against Brisbane. Those guys that came in, they made an impact, and yeah, they're doing good stuff. So good on you, Freo. In North Melbourne, time will tell. You just got to be patient. As I said, you just got to be patient. Those higher draft picks will kick in once they get more games under their belt. But for now, just got to be patient. You should be very happy with the performance that they did on Saturday, and you should be very excited for Friday night with a full packed Marvel Stadium. So
yeah. Well, yeah. As I said, man, they're improving. They're improving, and it's gonna be patient, North Melbourne supporters. You will get there. King of the North.
Yeah, I had the coach gone, as Johnny said in my predictions, and I thought he was going to be the first, or Bevo was going to be one of them, but no, they proved me wrong. Sarong, 35 disposals, and they had 11 goal kickers, they're in their team. So 11 players kicking goals. That's unbelievable. So kicking from all over the place. Good on Freo. They're doing much better than the West Coast, GT. But and GT's just saying they gave Longmire a 1-year extension as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, they've been impressed with his first. They've been really outstanding the first 2 games. So But yeah, North Melbourne, you got to give this young side some credit as well. They're really trying. They're not a West Coast, or they're not the bottom team. They're trying really hard. They scored over 80 points last week. They've done really well this week. Sheasel, like you said, 35 disposals. Powell, Curtis, Zerha, all with 2 goals. So yeah, their forwards just need to get a few more goals, and they'll just have to, they're young, like you said. So yeah, good on North Melbourne and good on Freo.
Yeah, no, it was actually quite entertaining. As I said, I was watching the mini version of the game, and it was I was actually entertained watching it. Like, it was just, fast break footy at Marvel Stadium, which is always fast deck there, and yeah, good on to both teams. It's good to see Freo winning, and it's good to see the improvement of North Melbourne. So, all right, well, the next game. I watched the mini of this as well. This was the Hawks versus Melbourne. So the Hawks 5-8-38 were defeated by Melbourne 14-9-93. Look, I watched this game. Melbourne went bang in the first quarter. So I think it was pretty sure it was like 5 goals to 0 for a while there. So they had a bit of a jump start on Hawthorn. Hawthorn did rally in the second quarter in that. Played not too bad in that second and the third. But, overall, Melbourne just were too good. I think Oliver was at probably his best he's played in a while. Fritsch had 5 goals. I mean, hard to stop him when he's kicking 5 goals. And Petrarca was great. But yeah, it was good. I did notice Chol for Hawthorn. He was really good. Some of the stuff he did, I was very impressed. Even though he had 10 touches, he set up a few goals for Hawthorn, and he was really good. But other than that, it was a pretty straightforward game. No one thought that Melbourne were going to beat the Hawks. But Melbourne are looking dangerous, and we got them this week, so they're looking dangerous. Good. Pickett was having a really good day as well. He had 3 goals. They're going to be tough to beat. They're a good side when they're up and about. So Hawthorn's still rebuilding, but as we said about North Melbourne, they'll get there. But I think I see more improvement in North Melbourne, to tell you the truth, which I thought was going to be the other way around. But again, now we're playing probably better opposition, so it's hard to tell. So, Johnny Carlton, did you watch this one?
I did. So look, some crazy stats. So 8 of their 22 have only played under 5 games, which is
wow,
okay.
Which is very exciting. Yeah, 14 of their 22 have only played under 50 games. So you've only got 8 players in that team have played more than 50 games.
Wow.
They have a combined total of 414 games. Travis Boak has nearly equaled them with just 1 player.
That's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And Luke Bruce is the main reason why they're so high, because of 1 player. But as I said, look, they're a young team. They're an exciting team. But you've got a lot of new recruits in there. They haven't played many games together. They're getting used to how they're playing. Obviously, Ginnivan, Ambrosio, Charles, all these players coming into a fresh new team. They got to know how they play. So it's a lot of new things for Hawthorn. And as I said, there's a bit of crazy stats. They had 50 marks in the first quarter. 50 marks is crazy.
That's a lot.
In a quarter of football, 50 marks. And Melbourne only had 11. But Melbourne were up by 5.5 goals. That was the difference. Melbourne experienced, obviously have played finals in the last couple of years. Hawthorn, new team. So obviously, look, it was Melbourne from the start. I couldn't really see Hawthorn really getting on top of them. There was a point that they were coming back. They had a good patch about 10 minutes, but obviously they're inexperienced. They're young. As I said, those stats just
crazy
surprises you. As I said, similar to North Melbourne, you just got to be patient, Hawthorn fans. But as I said, if you're a Hawthorn fan, I'm pretty sure you would be happy. You've seen flags in the last 10 years. You knew your team was a great dynasty. They've won probably nearly a good treble. You know what I mean? It's just they've had their time, and now it's their rebuilding time. You've got to be patient. All these teams have gone through a rebuilding phase. So as I said, yeah, it was hard to watch for Hawthorn fans. I'm got to say, their goal kicking just wasn't up to the challenges what Melbourne was. Melbourne was more deadly in front of goal, and just a lot of turnovers, as Hawthorn said, a lot of costly turnovers in the forward half. But as I said, it'll take time for Hawthorn. Melbourne, yeah, I don't know about Melbourne. I don't think they're dangerous as what everyone says they are. They haven't beat anyone that I think is threatening in my eyes. They've only beat Bulldogs and Hawthorn. I don't think them two are going to be top 8 teams anyways. Like, you saw what they did against Sydney, against a team that was in the top 8. They just weren't up for it. And I know Petrarca and Oliver, they're starting to get some confidence now. But as I said, it's Melbourne's a bit tricky. And look, May and Lever both went down in the third quarter, and that was time for Hawthorn to capitalise. They didn't have no backmen. That was the time for Lewis, Chol, all these top players to get in front of it, but just Hawthorn's midfield, they just couldn't win it. Petrarca, Viney, Oliver, they were just too good, and Melbourne's forward line was just too good. Cozzy Pickett, just different player when he's in the team, and just Bailey Fritz showing with his 5 goals. But as I said, it'll take time for Hawthorn fans, but Melbourne fans, yeah, it's going to be a bit. I think Lever is fit to play. I heard Lever is fit to play this week, but if they really want to show their attempt, they're going to go up against a good team in Port Adelaide this week. So,
Yep, yeah, they sure are. King of the North. What's your
I like the Young Hawks, and I did have them above North Melbourne at the beginning, but we'll see. The Kangaroos are showing some a little bit more than the Hawks are. So we'll see how that goes. But Sicily pretty much led the way, 27 disposals, and they only they just kicked 1 goal between about six players. So the Demons just too good. But yeah, like you say, it's just they just have to see how the Demons go against the big guns who are true top 8 sides, and see how they go. So. Yeah, good on the Demons for getting the win, and the Hawks will learn. So good on them, and that's amazing stats that they've played so little games and so little together. So yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny when I watch the Hawks. I haven't watched many games of them like now. And when I watch them, like, it feels weird because I'm so used to like the Lewis, the Hodge, the Sam Mitchell, all these players that were so like they were Hawthorn. When I look at the Hawthorn team now, it's like it's hard for me to because there's so many new faces. It's very hard for me to associate them as Hawthorn because I'm so used to and. We did a lot, like Port Adelaide back in, like, especially 2014. We battled them a lot, especially in some final games. So, it's hard to, yeah. When I look at them, it's like, is this really Hawthorn? Like, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird because there's so many new players. But no, look, they're developing as Johnny Carlton did say, and look, you gotta same as North Melbourne, you gotta just have time and take time. So, anyway. Next game, guys. Next game, we did this one. And Johnny Carlton was really, really happy. Got a few Essendon Bombers fans a bit uptight with this one, but 1917, 131 Sydney defeated Essendon 15-11, 101. Massive scoring game, it was a lot of goals scored in this game. Papley had a good game, man. 24 disposals, 10 marks, 4 goals. So he played really well. Call him MJF. That's MJF, man. And There's a stat I came up with. Sydney and Essendon past 8 games. Very close. Very close, apart from the blowout in 2022. But they always seem to have close games. This one was, a 30-point margin, whatever it was. And yeah, we watched this game. I think what I noticed with Essendon, they were a bit too rough. They were very like they were just not knocking out. Well, they knocked out one player, Peter Wright, knocked out. Who did he knock out? I can't remember his name.
Cunningham.
Cunningham knocked him out. And then there was another one where Draper took out one of their players in the back. So they were very aggressive. I think Papley did say something at the end about how stupid and aggressive they were. So, even that, normally, teams don't say that. And, but I just think they were too aggressive, which is not a bad thing, but I don't know if it's, I'm not sure if it's like, a good thing for them because, look what happened. They lost. Look, they looked good in patches, didn't they? Essendon, they looked good, but you can just tell Sydney were just the better team on the night. So, Jimmy Carlton, I know you got some stern words for these Essendon supporters, but
we watched this game. So look, a little bit of a story. Last week, all these Essendon supporters were telling me they were going to win the grand final, they were going to make finals. They're all up and about. They beat Hawthorn. Now, this week, I've got a book just full of excuses. Full of excuses. It's ridiculous. How can you go from one week winning, we're going to make finals and we're going to win a final, to this week, no, we're just not good yet. We just didn't play well. Bunch of excuses, mate. That's what it is. All right, let's get this started. First of all, you only beat Hawthorn, so relax. Calm down, all right? Second of all, you guys saying, you were close in the game. You lost by 6 goals. Stringer kicked the goal with 2 seconds to go. You had one of your guys kicking a goal from Hungry Jacks when it was clearly out of bounds. All right? Don't get me started. You kicked another goal from the softest 50 I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And you guys said you were in the game. You guys should have lost by 48 points. That was not a close game. So all these Essendon supporters, we didn't have our best 6 back line. We didn't do this. We didn't do this. Do you see Carlton have Jacob Wiedering and Sam Walsh in their squad? I don't think so. Are we making excuses? I don't think so. Are we 2-0? We are. You know why? Because we step up. We don't make excuses like them. Look, I'm going to be another 5 years and I'm still going to see Essendon not win a final. Happy days, I can't complain. But just don't come after me after round 1 against Hawthorn and say you're going to play finals and you're going to win the final. Just calm down, mate. It's only round 2, so calm your tongue, calm your farm. So
we thought,
go. Sydney, well done. Obviously, they kept the only good thing I'll say about Essendon. They kept Grundy quiet, which was really good. They kept Grundy quiet with the 2-on-1. It did work. Maybe other teams are going to focus on that. They might bring a second ruckman in to play Grundy because he couldn't keep up against the 2 ruckmans. But apart from that, it was the MJF show. It was the Lizard show. It was the Sydney show. It was the Swan show. So Essendon fans, enjoy your 1 win against Hawthorn. Enjoy your dreams of playing finals. It won't happen for another 5 years. So And to that, Bombers fans, good night and enjoy your week.
I thought Johnny Carlton wasn't going to do a rant tonight, but there you go, guys.
There's the rant.
Oh, jeez.
Bunch of excuses. Anyways.
King of the North, have you got anything to top that one or what?
They played, but they took it to Sydney. I was more impressed with how they played than I thought they were going to be. I thought Sydney was going to give them a flogging up in the SCG, but they stayed in the game. Heaney was outstanding again with 32 disposals, Papley with 4, Hayward with 3, and Heaney with a goal as well. They were just they did contain they won the centre. They contained him, so that was really impressive. Merritt with 32. disposals. Gresham with 3, Stringer with 3. Should have been 2 because he kicked it at the last minute. But yeah, they just go to show you again that they can't finish a fourth quarter. So they just go to sleep or whatever happens to them in the fourth quarter. Sydney came out and kicked 3 goals and it was all over. So yeah, let's see when they take on another good side and see how they go.
All right, there we go. If you're an Essendon fan,
you thought it was a Crows bagging. Look out.
Jeez. All right. Next game. Western Bulldogs versus the Gold Coast in Ballarat. Bulldogs got the chocolates 18-17, 115 to 10 goals 67. Really good win from the Bulldogs. I tipped the Bulldogs and Ballarat. You can't, they're really good when they go there. They always seem to win. Look, Bontempelli was outstanding with 32 touches. There was your mate Flanders had what do you have? He had 26.
26 disposals.
Yeah.
Down this week.
There's a guy that I don't like. His name's Cody Waitman. I never liked him because every time we play him, he's just S.
I've got him written down as well, and I've got your name written next to him. You love him, Waitman.
I mean, he kicked the bag. And
goals, Christy. Hey?
I know, man. I know. So I mean, when he gets firing, he's a weapon.
He is.
So
with his ponytail in, he's on fire. So.
I wouldn't be paying Norton a 9-year contract. I'd be giving Waitman the 8-year contract, to tell you the truth, because he's kicking 6 goals, Norton's 2. So Hugo Hagen, he was good. Like some of the stuff he did, and he took a mark of the year. But he was. I thought even though he had 13 touches. His presence on the ground was, he was always there. So I liked him. As I said, Bontempelli, 32 touches, 2 goals. He's back. So
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with King of the North.
I don't know what's happened with my screen.
Oh my gosh!
You're giving me the King.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm going into the Twilight Zone.
Plug. Maybe it's your plug. Just your plug.
But my eyes are hurting.
There you go. Oh. Just unplug it and replug it.
Okay.
Oh, my eyes. Jeez. Killing me. He's killing me.
What's happening, man? Are you
Must
still
have
there?
Must have not liked my Essendon rant.
Here we go. Yeah.
Now,
there he is. There you go. Just have to reset it, man. Anyway. So what was I saying? So look, I thought Gold Coast were good in patches, but just weren't as good as they were the last few games. They did, if you remember the last 2 games, they did concede a lot near the end of the game. So not sure if that was something that was a problem going into this one, because they got found out in this one. So but it was at Ballarat. Bulldogs always play well there, so I'm not sure if that's an indication of where Gold Coast are, but 48 points is a bit of a drubbing, isn't it? So
it is.
Johnny Carlton, what's your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, look, this is just going to be short and sweet. This game was just everything that I thought it was going to be. Bulldogs too strong in Ballarat. They're a good team over there. A lot of people tipped Gold Coast because they thought, obviously, they're 2-0, but it was just Bulldogs too good in Ballarat. Everything went well. As I said, I expected this. But Jamaro Hagen, you cost me $350. But gamble responsible, kids. But besides that, Doggy's too strong, and we'll see how they go when they come back out of Ballarat. So interesting week this week against Bulldogs. So as I said, I know they have West Coast, but they want to see what they do. But short and sweet. So
no worries. And King of the North, we're back with your great feed.
Yeah, no, Bulldogs too good. Towed them up. Suns very disappointing. I thought I tipped them. So what do I know? And yeah, so I was hoping they'd do better than that, but they didn't. Bonapelli, outstanding. Chris C's favourite player, Waitman, 6 goals, well done. And Baker, 3 goals, so very well done. Miller for the Suns with 30 disposals. Holman and King with 2 goals. And my man, Sam Flanders, 26 disposals. Well done, mate. And you'll get a mention every week. So yeah, Bulldogs just too good. And yeah, they play Ballarat very well, don't they? So good on you.
They do. And quick mention, just quickly before we go to the next game, Jack McRae had 47 touches, 7 clearances, 4 tackles in his VFL game against GWS. So expect Jack McRae to be back very, very soon. That's a huge game. 47 touches. Far out. All right. KP is in the chat. Sorry, I'm late. I left my keys at my wife's house. There you go. He's left his keys. Yeah. All right, guys. It is that moment of the night where we talk about the greatest team of all time.
Jeez, the Port Adelaide rant. Here it comes.
Well, I'm going to sing it, guys. So here we go. 2 in a row, 2 in a row. Now. 2 in a row. All right. So there's my little song. Last year I went to 13 in a row, which was great, but let's hope we get there. But Travis Boak, well done, mate. 350 games. Congrats, Trav, on an awesome career. Matthew Lloyd did say not many come through a football club and improve your culture, but Travis Boak has done that. Well done, Travie. Come
on the show anytime you like, Trav.
Yeah, come whenever you want. Guys. Yeah, what a game. It started off with us bad kicking again. 2 goals, 7. It was like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah, it was looking that way, like we were all over him in that first quarter, and then kind of like we gave him a bit of momentum, left the door ajar for Richmond, and then the second quarter they just came back and just went bang, 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 and then third quarter we said no, and then we started playing our game. Yes, they were some good. Richmond did well with the personnel they had. But it was good to see the guys actually kick goals in that second half instead of points. So, look, I thought our transition from the back line was really good. We hit targets in the forward line. We just couldn't finish most of the time. So, they'd say bad kicking is bad football, but yeah, at least in that second half they did straighten up. But I did like the ball movement. But Richmond, to their credit, they bought their game and they made it a real fight. But it was good to see us grind out the win. I thought Zach Butters was he was fantastic. I thought that who else was really good? So Rosie was good, not the best, but he was great. I thought your mate Frankie Evans, I thought he played great. Like, if he gets dropped this week, I was saying it before we came on, before we came live, that Frankie Evans, yeah, he was, I don't know, like, just his energy around the ball was, you thought every time he was around that something was going to happen. So that's what I liked about him. So I hope he keeps his spot this week with McKenzie coming back, and I hope he keeps it. I thought Todd Marshall was really good in that second half, especially. I know that Johnny Carlton would be upset with Rioli, but that's another story. Yep. Look, as I said, I think played a good game. Could we be better? Yes, a lot better. There was times where I was frustrated and upset, but we won for Berkey, and that's all that matters. So tough week coming up against Melbourne, but and it was good to see that they didn't have Horn Francis wasn't there either. So they brought Mead back in. It was really good. Jackson Mead was good. I thought Leah was a bit shaky. Did you guys think that? Like, Leah was a bit shaky. There was a few moments where he was fumbly, but I thought Zerk Thatcher, he had a great game too on Tom Lynch. He really restricted him. So, really happy with the boys, and hopefully they can continue that form going into next week. So, Johnny Carlton, we watched this together.
Yeah.
You were a bit upset at the end, but look.
Yeah, no, well, let's talk about the game, shall we? I don't care about Rioli now. But, yeah, no, as I said, I told you midway through the stream, I go, if Port Adelaide need to win this game, it needs to come out of their midfield. And they started that in the second half. You can see how Butters, Rosie, Wines, they got it out of the midfield, and that was the difference in the game. Yeah, look, you kept Richmond in the game. That's what a couple of teams have been doing lately. They've been keeping Richmond in the game. And you did. You guys dropped off a bit. There was some times that Richmond just got out the back way too easily, just for some open goals. As I said, they didn't. When it came, the game, there wasn't a lot of contested marks for Richmond inside their 50. It was more a bit open goals. That's how all their goals came from open goals. So, as I said, they only had like 3 set shots, I think it was, out of all those goals that they got. But as I said, they'll get used to that. But as I said, it was Travis Boak's day. They got it out of the midfield in the second half. There was a bit concerns in the first half. Richmond was just winning it out of the ball just too easily. Special mention, Frankie Evans. Great game, mate. 1 goal. Spoke to you after the game. Your boys, obviously, you guys switched it off after half time. And, yeah, obviously, if Port Adelaide can do that the whole 4 quarters, then they're going to be a dangerous team this year, Port Adelaide. But, look, you said Ali is a bit shaky, right? But you gotta look at this. Last year he was with Mackenzie and Jonas, and now he's with Zerk and Radaglia. He's going up. That backline's definitely brand new now. He's got to know how Radaglia and Zerk Thatcher play. So
yeah,
I could understand it's only round 2. If it was about round 13 and he was still doing what he was doing now, then yeah, there would be concerns. But he's got new teammates down there, and it's obviously he hasn't played a lot of footy with them, so you got to give him credit to that. But as I said, Port Adelaide, they expected boys to come in. Frankie Evans, Jackson Mead, as you said, they came in, they played their part. And yeah, just obviously special mention Home Alone, played a really good game as well.
Alone.
Bloody Home Alone, the goose. But yeah. As I said, Port Adelaide, as I said, that if they want to get better and they want to be the damaging team, they need to play that what they did from the second half, 4 quarters. But yeah, as I said, Port Adelaide too strong in the end, and Richmond 0-3, baby. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Before we go to King of the North, I was just going to have this damning stat. So marks inside 50, 7 to Richmond, 17 to Port Adelaide. So that's where the game is won, really, because if you're marking that much more than inside your 50, you're getting more chances at goal. And yeah, I mean, if we had kicked straight, I mean, forget about it. That would have been over. But
mate,
yeah,
KP's grilling you in the chat, mate.
I know. I saw that.
He is.
What do you say?
He's about to ban you.
Didn't ban me. Why? Got caught for 2 in a row. Nah, man. Weren't you still a Crows fan when Port signed Blake? Mate, I was never a Crows fan. Never. Yeah. KP had to balance the thing. Yeah, he did have to balance it. King of the North, give us your thoughts.
We have very high expectations of Port Adelaide to come out and just play really well every week, and they've as you say, their backs are all new, so they've got to learn how to play with each other. So yeah, once that combination kicks in, that is going to be like a terrifying backline to then feed to the midfield. So yeah, it's coming. As you said, Butters with 34, Toddy Marshall with four goals, Burn Jones 3, Finlayson finally kicked some goals. He kicked 3.
Finally.
And but yeah, you've got 10 goals just with 3 blokes. So and not a main full forward to be seen in amongst that lot. So come on, Charlie, lift your game, and we want 4. We want 4 or 5, from the full forward. So there we go. As for Richmond, they did it to Carlton. They stayed in the game. They did it to Port as well. They stayed in the game. So yeah, we just keep on letting them back in. So yeah, you've just got to get a run on them and then just smash them. So yeah, but 0-3 is a good number. So
Yes.
I'm happy, and I was actually surprised you didn't go bang on Charlie Dixon. I was waiting for a big rant.
well, I just gave him I gave you a hard time about not kicking any goals. Isn't that bad enough?
Yeah. Look, he didn't have his best game, Big Charles, but yeah, I don't know. It's his last year. I reckon. Let's give the guy some slack. Give the guy some slack.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Sorry, Charlie. Sorry about that.
Jeez. Anyway. Yeah, well done, Port. Well done, and sucked into Richmond. But Travis Berkey, well done. All right, last game of the round, guys. It is the West Coast versus GWS. 5-13-43. West Coast was defeated by the GWS 16-12, 108. This was I watched some of this game after the Port game. Pretty much what we thought, but. West Coast did. I remember watching it, and they were like, it was like getting to half time, and the scores were not that far apart. It was more in the second half where GWS went a bit crazy on the goals. So I still think there's improvement there with West Coast. Not as bad. Like, when Johnny Carlton last week said a pass mark for West Coast not to get beaten by teams by over 100 points. That's your pass mark. So if you're a West Coast supporter, I mean, you're doing that right now, and that was the best team of the year. Right now, they're probably the benchmark. Them in Sydney, so what was it, 65 points? You got to be happy with that. All right, so you try to restrict them. Yeah, you did lose by a big margin, but you were competitive for at least a half. You were, so you could have West Coast GT 23 if you're there. It's not all doom and gloom, man. It's going to take time, but. Yeah, and it's good to see them. Their fans rock up to the games. There was like 40,000 there. So even when they're going bad, West Coast, their supporters are there. So they're a good club like that. They're very passionate, very loyal people that follow them. So good on them. And GWS is just humming nicely. I mean, that wasn't their best game by any stretch either. So, but. They got the job done, and that's all that matters, really. So, Johnny Carlton, did you watch this one?
Yeah, look, I want to ask you boys something. I don't know if this is, but I'm a huge fan of it. Are you guys a fan of Sunday night footy?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's new. It's exciting. Look, a lot of people don't mind it. It's good to sit down. Have a cold one, have a dinner, and just have the footy in the background. It's pretty nice. Look, that's the only good part about Sunday night. This game was boring. I'm sorry. Just my dinner was so much exciting than this. I was more focused on my dinner than this game. It was in the background. I didn't even look at it. I felt scorned. Wasn't too appealed to this game. But as I said, as I said for West Coast, it's going to take time. I know it's hard being a West Coast supporter right now. As I said, you guys didn't kick a goal for over an hour, which is pretty. It's hard. Look, it's hard. But as I said, it's going to take time. Just cheer the good things. Like when they kicked their first goal after a while, all the fans got up and clapped and cheered. It was good. Good to see that they were in good spirit and they didn't leave the stadium like normal people would. It's good to see that they were still there supporting their team. So look, it'll take time. It's just as what Chris said. You're just going to be happy that you're not getting smashed by 100 points. And I would say 65 points from GWS is a win in my book. But yeah, look, Giants didn't play there well. Giants didn't play too well, but obviously they're 3-0. They're on top of the ladder. They're the best team in the comp at the moment. So, as I said, average game, was just in the background. Wasn't too excited about this game. It was good feeling having Sunday night footy. So hopefully they do more of it this year. So
100%. King of the North.
I was watching as well while I was cooking dinner. So it was good to have it in the background and good to watch. your game on after the afternoon in the evening. GWS too good. The high vis boys. Whitfield with 36 disposals. Cadman with 3 goals. Is it Dugan or Duggan?
Duggan.
Duggan with 28 disposals, 7 marks and 18 kicks, and about half a dozen players kicked a goal for West Coast. So, yeah, good on them and good on the crowd for getting behind them. Six PRs behind West Coast. They'll be giving them a rap all week, even though Freo won their game, but they won't get a mention. But yeah, no, good on West Coast. Keep trying. Get that number 1 pick, still going along and improving and learning and everything. So yeah, they'll come good. And the senior players are still going okay. So a couple of the senior players had some good numbers in disposals as well. So yeah, good on the Greater Western Sydney boys, and march on.
All right, my camera doesn't stop moving. Stop moving. Yeah, I'm not there. All right. So, all right. Doesn't stop moving. Stop moving. Ah! Let's wait.
What is going on? The producers lost the plot. What's going on?
It just. All right. There we go. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Johnny Carlton's losing it. All right. So that was round 2. Quick ladder. Well, obviously GWS is on top. Sydney Swans second. Third, the mighty Port Adelaide's third. Fourth is Melbourne. Fifth, Fremantle. Sixth, Geelong. Seventh, Carlton. And eighth, Gold Coast Suns. That rounds out your top 8. Then you got St Kilda, Western Bulldogs, Essendon, Brisbane, Adelaide Crows, Richmond, Collingwood, North Melbourne, Hawthorn, and the Eagles down the bottom. That is your ladder. All right. Tipping time, guys. Big game this Thursday night. It is
grand final rematch.
Lions versus the Pies. Johnny Carlton. Who you going? And by how much?
So I do it.
Is there a bold call? Is there a bold call coming? If it is, I'll get the graphic out.
Yeah, whip it out.
Get the graphic.
Yeah, whip it out.
Here we go. Johnny Carlton's bold call of the week. Johnny.
It's again. It's for Collingwood again.
Oh.
So yeah. Johnny's bold call for round 3 is Brisbane will win by more than 40 points on Thursday night.
40 points. Wow.
Did you say 40 points?
40 points plus.
So you're telling me that Collingwood's going to go 0-4?
They will. Look, I think this is Brisbane's revenge game. This is where they kick off their start of the season. This is the team that they've wanted to beat for the last 6 months. They had it in the bag, Brisbane. They lost against Collingwood. Collingwood broke their hearts. And this is the perfect game to get their revenge on. The team that broke their hearts in September footy. So, look, they're back in home soil. They've had a week off. Neil's ready to go. They're ready to go. They're all fresh. And Collingwood's coming off 0-3. They have no confidence at the moment. Brisbane's going to kill them on for Thursday night, I reckon. I reckon it's going to be a 40-point plus blowout. So, yeah, Brisbane for me.
KP agrees with you in that one. GT23 reckons 60, but
60. Jeez, I was thinking 60, but I was going to be relaxed, Johnny. Relax.
King of the North.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon the Lions are going to get their first win. 3 or 4 goals, and they'll be seething from the first loss that they had against Port up there on their home soil. So they'll be wanting to get a win back on home territory and get their season back on track.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go Brisbane as well because of the home ground advantage. I don't think it's going to be 40 points, but I think Joe Danaher to score at least 4 to 5 goals. So could have a big one. Big Joe's going to have a big one. All right.
Darcy Moore. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Huge.
what I think. That's what I think.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to have a big one. He'll have a big one. KP reckons, said to Chris last week, 1 year on people like Side Ass and Penderbury over the hill. What? I said to Chris last week, 1 year on people like Side Ass and Penderbury over the hill.
Side bottom.
Ah. Side
Side
ass.
bottom. Yeah.
All right, next game.
Are over the hill. And that's what you said at the beginning of the show as well, Johnny.
Oh, really?
They should have
Parallel
hung the boots up.
All right, North Melbourne versus Carlton. Carlton. Carlton should win this easily, but if Carlton don't win this, I'll be very upset with Carlton. All right, so I'm going Carlton by plenty. I reckon at least if the Dockers could beat them by 26 points, this has to be at least 40. So Carlton by 40. Johnny Carlton.
Don't say that.
North Melbourne look good. So like you're gonna be on your. Is it at Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at Marvel. So I don't know, man. What's the go?
North Melbourne play okay at Marvel.
Are you gonna have a party at that? Are you gonna have a party at the King's house if they win or what? What's happening?
So does Carlton. Carlton play well at Marvel as well. So
all right. Well, obviously, I haven't seen my boys in 2 weeks. I'm dying to see them, so I'll be there Friday afternoon. Yeah, look, man, I'm nervous. I'm like a Collingwood fan. I'm nervous about these types of games. Look, this will be the first team. Actually, no, sorry. This is the first time we're coming off a bye. Like, are we going to play the same footy as we did before the bye? Or are we going to play a completely different type of footy? If we show up, if the Carlton that showed up against Brisbane play on Friday night, I'll be more confident. The way that they've played. But if the Carlton that came out against Richmond come on Friday night, I wouldn't be surprised if we get rolled, man. I wouldn't be surprised. There's been a lot of talk about us in the last week. They were 2-0 and this and that, premiership in September and everything. Just if the boys can handle the non-media pressure and just can focus on the game on Friday night and just think that every team is going to be a competition and not just going to be a rollover. That's how their mentality is going to. That's how it has to be. Charlie, he hasn't had a very good game in 2024 yet. This is the game that you need to kick 7, right? You got on North Melbourne, 2 unexperienced defenders. This is the time for Charlie and Harry to show why they're the most damaging duo in the forward line this week. They need at least 10 from both of them, 5 each. Has to be. You got it. And as I said, we don't know yet. Obviously, this is recorded as on Tuesday. We don't know yet, but Weeders could be in this week too, and that's a bit more confidence as well. Because we do need someone good on Larky, because if you put Young on Larky, it's just not going to happen. Larky's going to kick a bag on him. But as I said, former friends play there. Zach Fisher will go up against his former mates. It'll be a good Friday appeal. North Melbourne might want to come up. They're hungry. They've been playing good footy. If they end up playing a good four-quarter footy, then we're in trouble. But I'm going my boys, but I'm not going by 40 points. I'm going by at least 18 points. I wouldn't be surprised if we beat them by at least 2 goals. So Carlton for
KP's going 60 plus.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Jeez. All right. Well, good luck. Good luck to you, Johnny. I hope for your sake they can do it. But King of the North, do you hold the same sentiments as Johnny Carlton?
Yeah, I'm going Carlton as well. I've got plenty of confidence in Harry kicking 6, Curnow kicking 5, and my favourite player, Owies kicking 3.
Wow. You wanted a bold call? There's your bold call.
Jeez.
Johnny's like, oh. Yeah, look, man, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and I think Johnny G said he's going to do a watch along, so we'll see if he
There we
keeps up
go.
his bargain. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, good luck. Good luck. Anyway,
Thank you.
next one. It's the Dockers versus the Crows over there in the West.
Oh,
I mean, the Crows need this win more than ever. Freo will go, 3-0 if they win this one. Dude, I can't go past Freo at home, like what they've been doing. They've beat Brisbane. And, yeah, I just don't think the Crows will have the firepower to get it done against Freo. I could be wrong. Adelaide could turn up and show us why they were nearly, a good team last year. So, but no, Freo by, I reckon it's going to be a close one. Probably like 2 goals, tops. So, Johnny Carlton?
I've gone Adelaide the last 2 weeks, but I can't this week. I'm sorry. I'm going Freo. I just reckon they'll be too good at home. I'm sorry. Look, as I said, I do like Adelaide, and I've gone them 2 weeks in a row. Just I can't do it. They've just disappointed me in the last 2 weeks. Hopefully, I hope they win. As I said, I hope they win. But yeah, I'm just going Freo. So
I think
I wouldn't say by much. But Freo should win at home. So.
If this was in Adelaide, you'd probably pick the Crows, eh?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So,
King of the North, have you got any love for the Crows?
If you play back how I was tipping at the beginning of the season in 2023, I was saying exactly what John was saying, that I've tipped them, and then I can't tip them anymore. So this season, I've not tipped them, and I'm 2-0. So I'll be going Freo and by 4 goals.
Oh, 4 goals, okay. Fair enough. That's a good analogy there. But
playing away from home, they've
got
to see them win away from home sometime. So.
KP reckon it's not the Crows' firepower that's the problem. It's the Crows' Hess defense. Yeah, the defense is a bit. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. All right, next game. Yep. This is an interesting one. Bombers versus Saints. Now, the Bombers did look... here we go with Johnny. He's going to say something here. The Bombers and the Saints, I mean, 2 very, maybe even sides. St Kilda's probably a bit better, I reckon, because they did play finals last year, so I'll probably rate them a little bit better. So, look, I'm going to go Saints, but I wouldn't be surprised if Essendon did win this one. So... I'll go Saints just because, they beat Collingwood last week. Essendon did play a red-hot Sydney, so it's a hard one, but it's a flip of the coin, this one, really. I'm just going to go Saints. I think they've got a bit more firepower, and they lost Peter Wright for how long? I can't remember. What was the verdict there? 4 weeks? So,
he got 4.
Yeah, so they lost Peter Wright, so, a bit of tall timber not in their side, so, yeah, got to go... Saints for me. Johnny?
Let's read the excuse of the week, shall we? Let's read. Essendon versus St Kilda. Excuse of the week. We did not have 2 meter Peter this week because he hit someone that shouldn't even be 2 weeks plus, when you clearly know that he didn't even have eyes for the ball in the last 5 seconds. We beat Hawthorn, and now we are a premiership team. We are going to make finals this week, and we are going to beat St Kilda by 60 plus. No Peter, no worries. We are Essendon. We are a brave team. And if we lose, it's just because we don't have 2 meter Peter, mate. Fucking bullshit, mate. St Kilda are going to win easily. Mate, they're full of excuses, the freaking Bomber supporters, mate. Oh, we don't have 2 meter Peter this week, mate. Who cares? One play doesn't make a whole team. As I said, St Kilda... Big win against Collingwood. They're going to do it 2 in a row. Essendon, forget about
it. GT's having a laugh. Oh, jeez. Andy, how are you? I missed Johnny's rant because an ad came up and it's my channel, so I didn't want to skip it. KP, you crack me up, man. King of the North, what do you think of this one, man? Tell us your search tip.
I think St Kilda are going along nicely. They'll beat Essendon by 5 goals.
All right, beautiful. All right. Here we go, guys. My boys up against the D's. Well, this
Bro,
is going to be.
He wants me to do it again.
Oh, you can't do that. That was a one-time thing, man.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing. You go back after this. Go back and watch it.
I don't think you could do it as good as you did it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can't. It was the moment, you know.
It was the moment. It was. Look, Port versus Melbourne. Like, I love my boys, and look, I'm going to tip them at home. I think they're good enough to beat Melbourne at home. Are they bad enough to lose as well? Yeah, they could be. So, if they don't kick straight, if they start the way they started against Melbourne, Melbourne could really put a lot of scoreboard pressure on. They're not playing Richmond this week, and they're not playing West Coast, so it's gonna be a real test for our back line to go against a real good forward line. But I think we'll get the win. I just think that we're going to be too good for them at home, so it's going to be a close one. I reckon. I reckon 8 points the margin. I reckon last year was close. I think it was 4 points last year. So I'm going 8. Just. So, Johnny Carlton, what do you reckon?
Look, this is a battle of the midfield. I'm excited about this midfield battle. Petrarca, Oliver, Viney going up against Wines, Butters, Rosie. Very good plays in there. So I'm excited about this midfield battle. Look, if Melbourne had May and Lever, I would have gone Melbourne just because of previous years and experience. But they don't have May this week. Lever's in 50-50. The way Port have been playing, I reckon they'll be too strong for Melbourne in the forward line. As I said, you're not going up against a Hawthorn that can't get it out of their middle. As I said last week, if Port can get it out of their middle, it's game over. Because if they get in the forward line, Dixon, Marshall, they're going to eat it up. Finlayson, no May, no Lever. They're going to bring in Tomlinson, I reckon, which is a second backup for May. He did terrible in the VFL this week too. So if he's going up against a Marshall, it's just it wouldn't be. So, and because it's in Adelaide as well, I'm going Port Adelaide. I reckon they'll go 3-0. So, are you going to the game?
Oh. Nah, but my lovely partner and the kids are going, so they'll come working that night. So, unfortunately, I can't attend, but I'll be there in spirit.
Beautiful.
Maybe the King of the North will do a watch along if he's free.
Maybe I will.
We'll have to tee it up. But King of the North, tell us what you think, my friend.
I like the way that Port finished on the weekend against Richmond, and they've now that they're playing together, they're getting the feel for all the new players that are in the side. So they've got to beat big sides like the Demons if they're going to be up there in the top 4. So Port for me by about 4 points.
There you go. No, you're not allowed to do a watch along for Port KP because every time you do one with Port, they always lose. So, no siree. No siree. All right, next one. Dogs versus Eagles. I think this is in Melbourne. Is that right? In Marvel?
Yeah, Marvel Stadium. Yeah.
I think Bulldogs will have this one easily. West Coast are not up to it yet, but it should be an interesting battle. But yeah, Bulldogs by about 35, I reckon. Oh, you know what? Probably more actually. If Cody Waitman can get a hold of the game again like he did last week, could be more than that. So I'll go 50. I'll go 50. Johnny Carlton?
Yeah, same. Bulldogs by 50 points. Don't need to say much less.
Yeah. King?
Same. Your favourite player, Waitman, another bag of 6. So they'll do well.
All right. Tigers versus the Swannies at the MCG. How many times can Richmond play at the MCG? Is ridiculous. Like
every week.
Every week. They're just there at home every week.
There we go.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Sydney are just too good at the moment. They would have seen what Port Adelaide did well, and they move the ball as good as anyone else right now. So, yeah, Sydney by I reckon 5 to 6 goals. Johnny?
Look, this will be the only game that I won't be able to watch because I'm going to the soccer. So I'd rather watch soccer than watch Richmond because that's just So yeah, no, I obviously won't be able to watch this game, but I'll be looking at the scores. Hopefully Sydney will win by like 60 points, and hopefully Heaney and Papley put on a show, because I cannot stand Richmond. But yeah, no, I'm going Sydney, Richmond 0-4, like Collingwood. It's going to be good seeing Richmond and Collingwood 0-4 at the end of the week. Just beautiful. But yeah, no, Sydney for me, just too good. They'll be 4-0. So.
All right, and King of the North.
Same, Sydney.
All right. All right, next one. Last game of the round. It is Easter Monday. This always happens Easter Monday. So the Hawks versus the Cats at the MCG. Look, you can't go past Geelong, what they did in Adelaide last week. The Hawks, very young side. They might be a bit competitive, but I just think the Cats have got too much star power in their game to not win this one. So the Cats by at least 30 to 40 points. Johnny?
Yeah, well, it's Tomahawk's 350th this week as well, so I reckon Geelong are going to do it for him. So yeah, I'm going Geelong as well. It's good to see. It's good to see footy on a Monday, eh? That's good. That's good to see. So yeah, footy for 5 days in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So
pretty good.
Good stuff. Footy's back, baby. So yeah, no, Geelong for me, but around the 5-goal mark, I do. I see Hawthorn putting up a little bit of a fight, but just not too much to get over the line. So yeah. Geelong for me.
Yep. King of the North.
Cats for me as well.
Beautiful. Well, that concludes another HFD Footy podcast. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Everyone in the chat, KP, GT23. Sorry?
Nothing's wrong with soccer.
Oh, nothing's wrong with soccer. No. I think he's saying that because you said I'd rather go watch soccer than Richmond.
Yeah, well, my team's playing. Melbourne Victory's playing, so I've got to go support the boys one last time. So
that's right. Jamar and Johnny Crom, who were earlier in. Ivan, thank you for coming in. Good luck to all your teams, guys. Any final words before we say goodbye?
Go Blues. Stay hunky.
King of the North.
So Toby and our other Carlton man will be at the footy. So yeah, it'll be all good. We haven't seen the young who's our young man who we haven't seen for coming into the chat.
Who? Oh, Toby.
Our Carlton supporter.
Beachy.
Beachy.
Yeah, Beachy will be at the game, surely.
It's funny how Dam and Beachy have this rivalry, but whenever Beachy comes in and says something, Dam's never here. So
it disappears. I know.
It disappears.
Yeah. That's it. No, but Beachy and Toby will be getting behind the Blues as well. So good on you boys. Good on Paul as well. Paul popped in on the weekend as well. So thanks guys for dropping in.
By the way, how good Premier League's back this week. Thank God.
Premier League's back, guys.
KP will be loving it.
You know what
with the show on Monday.
Yeah, we'll be back on the show on Monday. So EPL show is back Monday. But also before we do go tomorrow night, we will be doing a live podcast in the studio. Me and KP. Not sure what the topic is, but we will be live tomorrow. And also Thursday night, we will be doing the watch along. And then the rest of the weekend, I'm not 100% sure. We haven't scheduled yet, but we should be doing a few watch-alongs along the way. So, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and yeah, have a good one, guys. Go.
Got a quick present for KP, mate. Best team in the world. Best team in the world.
Go Chelsea.
What's the number 3, man? Is that the phone?
3.
Yeah, it was a 3 on there.
Yeah, that's the phone company.
The old phone scene, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Ericsson.
All right, man. KP was like your friend now. Now he's going to hate you.
It's all right. Bring on Premier League. We're back. Back.
All right, guys. Take care. Spike your hair. Stay hunky. We'll see you next week. Later.
See you later. Stay hunky.
Stay hunky.